Hey everybody, hope you're doing good today. Neil the Knife Guy here. Was loaned this Northeastern Blades Rhino to carry, to use, and then to do a review on. So I've carried this for about 2 weeks. A few days I didn't carry it on me. I actually carried it in my bag, just so if I needed a little more experience with the knife, I had it with me. So as I mentioned, this is the Rhino model. What that means to me, rhinos are tough, pretty much indestructible. So that's what this knife sort of symbolizes for me. See by the marks on the blade, I've used this quite a lot and for a lot of different things. Everywhere from just cutting your standard stuff like cardboard, rope, twine, plastic strapping. Used it on wood, and to sort of test the whole tough small knife, I put it through a little bit of tip prying, which is no problem whatsoever, and a lot of like sort of twisting side to side cuts, and works beautifully. This is made out of O1 tool steel, a steel that before this knife I haven't had any experience with, and was really quite surprised. Love the way it holds an edge. I think all tool steels I would like for how they hold an edge, because every time I sort of either sharpen one or have a chance to use one for a long time, I find they hold an edge quite well. Super tough steel, I know that because there was no damage throughout my usage of this. Stropped it up once or twice, and it's still very sharp, very sort of grippy when you go to slide your fingers along the edge. You don't want to put too much pressure or any pressure because you feel like you're going to cut yourself. And I like that sort of grippy edge. The handle is this really great looking stabilized maple burl, and it's really set off by these white liners. Nice thick liners, so it gives that sort of racing stripe look to it, but it's a really gorgeous contrast. Also has this ring at the back, which makes it easy to sort of pull out of your belt like this, and you'd have it ready in your hand if you were somewhere where you could carry a knife as a self-defense tool. But also when you're gripping the knife, you could slip your finger through here and have it really lock in your hand. You're not letting go of this unless you open up your hand completely and the knife falls off. But also the way the handle shape is designed, you could grip it just full on and it's quite comfortable. I have another knife with a ring like this that's not the case, and it really does dig into your hand. But with this sort of design and the thickness of the handle and that contour to the handle, you could really grip on this hard, and when you're really bearing into wood, just a comfortable handle overall. Great design there. So overall, this knife really did impress me. I do like small fixed blade knives and have quite a few of them, so I can do a sort of comparison on how this carries, and this one carries quite well. I like when I'm carrying a fixed blade on my belt that it sit really tight to my belt. I hate when it sort of flops around and has movement in the sort of sheath design with the belt loop that you happen to be using. Even the tech locks that I really like and pretty much solely use have a little bit of play on even my thick leather belt, and it just gets to where if the knife is in the sheath and this is your belt here, it would wiggle like this back and forth or even flop forward. He has this leather belt loop here that's attachable with these screws. And the way the belt sits in here, there's no movement whatsoever, either when you're doing it cross draw or regular draw. And just really happy with how this has carried. You can see the way it's sort of attached to the sheath, that this bump here adds as a good portion of what holds this so sturdy on your belt. He also has two lanyard holes here for if you want to carry it as a neck knife, and I have done that. It's not too heavy, and you could actually leave this part on there and it doesn't really add any thickness to it. The sheath itself is really well made. You can withdraw it no problem, and you could hear that snap once the knife goes in. That's locked in there. There's no movement whatsoever, no rattle. But when you need it, you can just pop it out very easily. That's one thing I also noticed about Ben. His sheaths since the beginning have been really thought out and really well made, so that you do get no shake back and forth, no rattle, no movement. So you get a really secure sheath for a very tough knife. With Ben, since he's a pretty much custom knife maker, you could pick sort of anything you want in some of his designs. So you could pick your blade steel, pick your handle material, even work with them to make something of like your own creation. And the work you get is really consistent. His finishes are getting better and better and better. The one on this one and the one he put on my Skinner that I got from him have just been very uniform and very attractive. You could see that there. His grinds are really good, very even from side to side. And his fit and finishing are really good also. I'll leave Ben's information. Oh, I love that click. I'll leave Ben's information in the description below. Check out his website and his YouTube channel. He does some really great work. So overall, really enjoyed carrying this knife. Gonna have to send it back very soon, and actually really gonna miss it. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you thought it was interesting, and stay tuned for more.